Welcome back to the Regent Law Podcast. On today's episode, we hear from Law School Dean Brad Lingo at our recent Law School Gala as he welcomes our guests and celebrates all the success of Regent Law School. Thanks.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. It is great to see so many people out here for our Regent Law Annual Gala. Welcome to our 2024 Regent Law Annual Gala. I'm Brad Lingo, the Dean of the Law School. Tonight is a night of celebration and giving, celebration of all that God is doing at and through Regent Law, celebration of what is quite frankly the most exciting story in American legal education today, and giving not just to ensure that the work continues, but to fan and to flame a spark that is already burning very, very bright. Back in 1986, a small group of students and an even smaller group of faculty set out to do something that most people thought impossible: to build a world-class Christian law school. More faculty joined that group in the 1990s, sacrificing promising legal careers to move to Virginia Beach and invest their lives in students. Professors like Craig Stern and Doug Cook and Jim Duane and Eric DeGroff and Jeff Brauch and Mike Hernandez and Lynn Combe and Lou Hensler, they became master teachers and mentors to generations of students, including to many of you who are in the room tonight. I'm sure that those pioneers had some sense of how much a school like ours would be needed in our country, but I bet even they didn't foresee how much it would be needed in America today. Since then, more than 4,000 students have been trained as purpose-driven, practice-ready lawyers and launched to lead and serve in communities around the corner and around the world. More than 70 of those students became judges. Others argued at the United States Supreme Court, held political office, served in high levels of the federal government and the Fortune 500, and founded world-changing nonprofits. Countless others who didn't do something quite that glamorous, they became world changers too, serving as salt and light in communities around this country as public defenders and prosecutors, on school boards and city councils, running law firms, starting small businesses, hanging out their own shingle, serving their communities and raising families. The dream of 1986 is now a reality, and each of you in the room tonight are a part of it. That upstart Christian law school is now the third fastest rising law school in the nation, according to U.S. News, having risen 39 spots in the last 3 years. It rose 17 places last year to pass schools like Gonzaga, Howard, Ole Miss, West Virginia, Arkansas, even Syracuse. For a few more weeks, many of you in the room tonight can say that you went to a better law school than the President of the United States. And last year, National Jurist Pre-Law magazine said that upstart Christian law school was tied for first in the nation for having the strongest program in public policy, tied with Duke and Georgetown. They said that upstart Christian law school was the second best school in the nation for training students for public service and government, and was the 12th best value private law school in the country. Our moot court and trial advocacy programs have become national powerhouses. Our employment and clerkship outcomes have never been stronger. The percentage of students obtaining full credit ABA gold standard jobs was over 90% last year for the first time in our school's history. Our newest group of 1Ls is one of the largest in recent history and one of the strongest. They helped us set a new record with a 158 median LSAT score. Enrollment at the law school across all programs is now more than 800 students. Put simply, there has never been more potential in Robertson Hall than there is today. So how did that happen? How did this story happen? Because when you see a renaissance like we're experiencing, I believe that God is making it unmistakably clear that what we are experiencing is his favor. He's answering our prayers. He's answering your prayers. He's honoring the sacrifices of many in the room tonight who have worked so hard and given so much to build this school. How did he answer those prayers? Well, he answered those prayers by giving us a vision to be a different kind of law school, an upside-down, countercultural, Christ-centered law school. And my deep hope for tonight is that you see that. What do I mean by upside-down law school? Well, at a time when many universities see truth as a weapon too dangerous to touch, much less teach, we boldly proclaim truth and pursue justice. When the world teaches that the practice of law is about the accumulation of money and status and power, we teach that law is ministry, an opportunity to walk alongside someone in what might be one of the darkest and loneliest and scariest chapters of their lives. The world tells us that lawyers are sharks, and we teach that lawyers can be healers. The world tells us that the lawyer's job is to win, and we teach that we already have the victory. The world tells us, go to law school to pass the bar and get a good job. We say, come to Regent and become more like Jesus. We teach that if you want to become great as a lawyer, you must become a servant. That the deeper you push in to using your law degree to serve others, the greater your impact, the greater the lawyer you will become. We teach that servant leadership is the Christian leadership that will change the world. And at a time when many law schools communities are just being ripped apart by anxiety and anger and fear and division, we aspire to be a community that overflows with love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness and gentleness and faithfulness and self-control. I hope that you'll hear that tonight, that this law school has a spirit of togetherness and family and community in Christ that sets us apart from every other school in the country. But here's our most audacious aspiration. Our most audacious aspiration, and the secret to our success, is this. We aspire to be a law school where the faculty know and care for our students in an extraordinary way, the way that God knows and cares for and loves each of us. We serve a God who tells us that he leaves the 99 to go rescue the one. We serve a God who tells us that he knows the number of hairs on our head. And at Regent Law, we want to know and care for our students like that. We believe that each student has a unique call on their life and that God has good plans for each of them. We aspire to work with each individual student to discern that calling and help them step into it. Our discipleship-based approach to legal education is our secret weapon. We want students to learn from our lectures, but we also want them to learn from our examples. We have a faculty that models what it looks like to pursue justice and love mercy and walk humbly. Those young men and women who joined the faculty in the 1990s, today they form the backbone of one of the best law school faculties in the country, the best law school faculty in the country. But you don't have to take my word for it. This summer, Princeton Review rated us as having the 9th best teaching faculty in the nation. 9th in the nation, behind only Chicago, Duke, Notre Dame, Stanford, UC Irvine, UCLA, Vanderbilt, and UVA. That is incredible. That is an incredible testament to the master teachers on our faculty. We say we aspire to know and care for our students the way that God knows and cares for us. That is a bold aspiration, but we're actually doing it. Last year at this gala, I told you that Regent Law was tied for first in the nation by Princeton Review as having the most accessible professors. What a great commitment to what a great testament to our commitment to discipling our students. And I've shared a lot of good news tonight, but I'm afraid I have some bad news, which is that we're slipping there. This year, our faculty was rated by Princeton Review as the second most accessible in the entire country. Seriously, that is an incredible, incredible accomplishment. It is a testament to the incredible dedication of our faculty, their dedication to our students and to our school and to our mission. And it is confirmation, I take that as confirmation that we are living out that big, bold, audacious aspiration that we have. Faculty, would you stand so we can recognize and applaud for everything that you've done for us? We have some amazing faculty. We have some amazing adjunct faculty who give so much to this school. We appreciate each of you so much. Our faculty, our adjunct faculty, people who come and invest in the students. You are appreciated more than you know. I look out tonight and I see so many people who go to work all day and then come and teach. Judge Linetti and Judge Bullock, and I see Marcus and Ariel, our adjunct professors of the year, who lead our trial advocacy program so well. It's not just those young men and women who joined us in the 90s that are master teachers and fully committed to discipling. We appreciate each of you. So for the rest of the night, you're going to hear a lot less from me and more from some of the amazing members of our community. But before I introduce tonight's keynote speaker, I want to take a second to thank our sponsors who make tonight possible. I want to first thank our platinum presenting sponsors, the American Center for Law and Justice. The American Center for Law and Justice protects religious and constitutional freedoms by engaging in legal, legislative, and cultural issues. Its work has protected the free speech rights of pro-life demonstrators, safeguarded constitutional rights, protected free speech rights for minors. The ACLJ's work has made a big difference, both at home and around the world. And all of us at Regent Law are really thankful for your partnership and support. Thank you, ACLJ. Our other platinum sponsor for tonight, and they couldn't be here because they just had a baby. We're celebrating with them, but it's Doug and Christina White. The White's family, their generosity has allowed us to significantly expand the work of our Center for Global Justice and its new Human Trafficking Survivors Clinic. You'll hear more about that later tonight from our own Meg Kelsey, but we are so thankful for their continued support. And our silver sponsor tonight is Anchor Legal Group. Josh and Kim and everyone at Anchor, thank you for being among our most faithful supporters and friends. We're proud of the great work that you and so many Regent grads are doing at Anchor, and I'm sorry that we stole Professor DeBoer from you, but we're really glad to have her as well. So, and then I'd also like to thank our bronze sponsors for tonight: Troutman Pepper, Alliance Defending Freedom, AB&B Federal Credit Union, Davis Birch and Abrams, Hanger Law, MKM Law, the Family Policy Alliance, the Federalist Society, Regent Student Bar Association, Koch Morgan Stewart, and my lovely wife, Yvonne Lingo, who continues to be a generous benefactor of this school. I used to tease Yvonne that she made a big mistake in marrying me, a curmudgeonly litigator, because she would have been an ideal pastor's wife. But I guess in the end, the Lord knew what he was doing, because she is a great part of this community. And we do this together. We believe in Regent's mission, and we love its students, and it's our joy to be called together to this work. So with that, let me introduce tonight's keynote speaker, Professor Erin Hawley. Professor Hawley is in her third year on the Regent Law faculty, where she has taught state constitutional law, appellate advocacy, jurisprudence, and academic and judicial legal writing. She also serves as a senior fellow at the Robertson Center for Constitutional Law. In addition, she's senior counsel and vice president for the Center for Life and Regulatory Practice at Alliance Defending Freedom. And in that role, She argued FDA versus Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine at the United States Supreme Court this year, and she also played a key role supporting Scott Stewart, who's here tonight as well, in helping to prevail, and Scott's role prevailing in the Dobbs case, which overruled Roe versus Wade. Before coming to Regent and Alliance Defending Freedom, Professor Hawley was a tenured member of the faculty at the University of Missouri School of Law. She was an associate at King & Spalding and Kirkland & Ellis. She served as counsel to U.S. Attorney General Michael Mukasey and a law clerk to Judge J. Harvey Wilkinson and U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts. She's a graduate of Yale Law and Texas A&M. I'll let her speak to which of those she's more proud of. In short, she is an extraordinarily gifted teacher and scholar and advocate, but she's much more than that. She's a devoted wife and mother and has written a book on motherhood entitled Living Beloved, Lessons from My Little Ones about the Heart of God. She's a lover of animals, a role model for our students, and a champion for the unborn. And I'm proud to call her a friend and colleague and welcome her to speak to us tonight.